The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
They're here.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? I always ask that of all my friends. I just like the sound of it.
How about it, you creep, you lunatic? What is the deal, Raider Nation? It is the post-game show, man, live and direct, man. The Raiders lose in overtime to the Gay Area 69ers, 37-34. You know what I mean? But, hey, Stidham, he handled his own, man. You could tell he was confident in the offense. He was comfortable. His end results, the guy was 23 for 34 passing, 365 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 INTs, one being a pop-up and the one at the end of the game where the defender pushed the offensive lineman into Stidham and couldn't follow through with the pass, and it was like a wounded duck. But at the end of the day, the Raiders lose to a Niners overrated defense who gave up 34 points. The first time they've given up, how many yards they gave up? Matter of fact, gave up even a 2-minute drive for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. First time they've done that. Davante Adams becomes the all-time season leader in Raider history of yards. I think he's at 1,443, I think it was. The rest of the team stats, Josh Jacobs, 17 carries, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. You had in the passing game, Davante Adams, 7 receptions for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns with a terrific catch in the fourth quarter. Bruh, Adams is the real deal, for real. Like I said, 153 yards on the day. As far as we did not give up any sacks, the penalties were low, but at the same time, there's still some stuff we need to clean up defensively, offensive line-wise. Also, with penalties, defense, you can tell that we were missing players we needed. They were running right up the gut on us where Perryman would be, so he was not there. We did lose Darian Butler for the rest of the game. Masterson did solid. Hall was solid. It was, I mean, all in all, the defense, we already know that right now, the way it sits, the defense needs to be fixed. You know what I mean? Plus, we were thin as hell today, but it is what it is. There's no excuses. There's reasons, and the reasons is that we did not stop these guys when we needed to get the ball back. But the offense did their thing. I got my hats off to Stidham in this offense. The play calling was solid too. Tubby, I seen you saying fuck McDaniels. McDaniels' play calling was solid. Come on now. You don't get these kind of stats on bad play calling. You know what I mean? Solid. They spread the ball around. The offense moved at will. They couldn't stop it. We were the only ones to stop us with silly penalties. You know what I mean? Also, the defense needs to learn how to wrap up when it comes to tackling. A lot of missed tackles to give extra yards after contact to the 49ers, which that's not going to work. You know, it's not going to work out for you giving up extra yards when you need to come to a stop. Hey, salute to everybody in the chat, man. NorCal Raider Jesse, salute to you, my guy. Tubby's in the house, man. Salute. Navy Vet 44. Yes, sir, man. I just do a quick pop-up, man, just to give a report of the post-game. Big Worm is in the house, man. We got Gord Peterson in the house. Shout out to you, my guy. Thank you for pulling up. Let me see. Who else I got in here? Big Worm, I said. Florida boy, what's good with you, my guy? For real. And you hit that right on the head. You're right. Now what we need to do is fix the defense. But here is your scenario. Stidham contract is just under $1 million. He's only making $1 million. So the money that you would have been paying, and now it looks like Stidham right now. We might not need to get a quarterback. Might. Let's go into next week against the Chiefs. And if he puts up the same type of performance against another elite team trying to get a first seed, because they're not going to rest nobody next week. Kansas City coming full steam ahead with everybody. If Stidham can go toe to toe with Mahomes and at least put us in position to win, you got to go ahead and let this man compete for that starting job next year, whoever it is, with Garbers or if you bring somebody else in, all that shit. Um, but you gotta give this dude an opportunity. This was his first ever start in the NFL, and he did a damn good job. He didn't look like he was spooked. He didn't look rattled. He sat in the pocket and even took shots and waited to get the ball out of his hand, man, and made damn good plays. You can't knock this dude, man. You know what I mean? So maybe we just might have found our guy for this offense. You know what I mean? So now it's just a wait and see what happens next. But Stidham looks good in his offense. And that being said, with Carr, if we trade Carr off, that money frees up. Now you got money to play in free agency. Now you got money to bring Josh Jacobs back. Now you got money to bring Perryman back. Now you got money to go get a veteran right tackle on the offensive line. Now you got money to go get a solid defender for the defense, a veteran that can come in. You know what I mean? But like I said, take care of your own. Perryman, Josh Jacobs must be next to ink the dotted line to go ahead and keep their services here in Las Vegas. And then we go out there and start filling other holes. March is free agency. March will show us who do we target, who do we go after, who can come in and help this defense. Because right now, the defense, right now, that's the only thing that I look at that we really need to fix. If you do get a first round pick for Carr, see, there's a lot of things going into this Carr thing. We know Carr's gone, so that frees up that money. You trade him 140. Is it 140? Let me see. Let me make. I don't want to give out any misinformation, so let's see. Derek Carr's contract. Yeah, Derek Carr has a $121 million contract. That becomes available. Stidham is only making 900, and Jarrett Stidham's contract with the Raiders. 965,000 is what Stidham is making this year. Now you go renegotiate next year, give him a contract. It won't be 40 million a year. You can probably get this dude cheap, which is going to free up a lot of money for us to be players in free agency to fix this defense. And you can fix it with, I mean, who knows the big names out there in free agency on the defensive side of the ball? There's going to be some out there. You know what I mean? You don't just blow your wad on a name or two. You know what I mean? We know Chandler Jones was picking it up later on in the season. Bring him back. You know what I mean? He got his deal already done. But Perryman, we noticed we missed Perryman in the middle. That's why they were running their men straight up the ass on us, man. We couldn't stop it. We couldn't stop it. You got two young guys in Masterson and Darren Butler. You know what I mean? Two undrafted rookies, which they're going to have to develop, but they do have potential. They do have potential. Now you're going to have to answer questions on, do you bring Morrig back? Do you try to get rid of him, trade him? What do you do with him? You know what I mean? Does he fit what we're doing? You know what I mean? Then you go into the draft. Who do you draft? If you get a first-round pick for Carr, now you have two first-round picks. That means you can get two elite players right off the bat on your defensive side of the ball. You go get a dominating-ass defensive tackle. We're eliminated from the playoffs. So now we can kind of move up the board on the draft board, depending on what happens next week, and then we'll finalize and see. I think we're sitting at maybe around 9 still, maybe 8. I'm not sure. But you go out there and you fix this defense. You go get dominating ass players when it's time to draft. You know what I mean? So now if you get rid of Carr for a first and some change, You take those 2 first-round picks, and I would probably go DT and linebacker, but you don't know. It depends on who's there available, and you do not reach. You grab the best available player for position of need. And we need a lot on defense, so we can't really go wrong if we go defense. You won't go wrong going with a corner if the best available is a corner. You won't go wrong if the best available is a linebacker. You won't go wrong if the best available is a defensive tackle. You won't go wrong. Even a safety. You know what I mean? If you got a dominating ass safety and at the time of drafting, he's the best available player right at that spot, you take him because we can need him. We can need him. You take him because we need him. So there's a lot to fix, but now a lot of things open up, a lot of clarity in what the Raiders need to do to go ahead and fix the defensive side of the ball. You know what I mean? So I think that's like the final phase. In the offensive line, you'll do that too. I'd rather get a free agent offensive lineman to come in on, you know what I mean? Luminor, another penalty when we did not need that penalty. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So we don't know what the blueprint is, what the drawing board holds, but I know one damn thing. Fucking Stidham, he deserves an opportunity to be this team's quarterback because he went out there with poise. He was not rattled. He took shots in the fucking grill, but made sure he stood in the pocket and got the passes off and made big fucking plays. Those 2 interceptions, he did not, I don't solely put it on his shoulders. You know what I mean? I don't solely put it on his shoulders because all game long, when you gave him time to throw, he made the best throws. He did not waste plays. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, hey, there's promise. There's hope. You know what I mean? And that's all we want as Raider fans, have hope. You know, things seemed bleak for a minute when we didn't have hope and shit and things was going to look bad, you know? Hey, you know what? Hey, shout out to Romeo. Carr would have took. Hey, Carr would have. I believe that too. Carr would have had some sacks on the day. I don't think Carr. He won't sit in the pocket and take shots like Stidham. To me, Stidham looked like he didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Hey, like reckless abandonment. I'm ready. I'm gonna get hurt to make the big play. You know what I mean? I'll take the shot, but I need to stand in this pocket long enough to make the play. Don't get, you know what I mean, get antsy and get spooked. You know what I mean? And then if ain't shit there, the lane opens up, take off and run. You feel me? Yeah, but you gotta understand, Pyro, with the drops that they've had, you still got a quarterback that's competent, that's not scared. He's a fresh. You know what I mean? Sometimes, and I'm not knocking Carr. Carr just came to a time where it was this time. It was time. It's like a relationship that just wears out. You know, neither one of you guys really want to fix the situation. And it's like, you've been in a relationship for 9 years. I know. I did it before. Been in a relationship for so long. It's just sometimes things come to an end. Everything in life comes to an end. You know what I mean? Ain't got to be no hate on Carr. I hope Carr goes to a team that he chooses and does damn good. But right now, the way Stidham looked today against the number 1 defense, and he didn't look rattled and was not sacked once, come on now. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. You know what I mean? So we have hope. We have promise with a young gun. You know what I mean? A young guy who's going to be a cheap contract that frees up money to go elsewhere. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of this. It opens up a whole lot for the Raiders to go out there and fix a lot of wrong. You know? So for those who thought Stidham ain't going to do shit, the joke's on you, Jack. Shout out to LL Cool J. You know what I mean? The joke's on you. They we did it again. We did it again. Ha! The joke's on you, Jack. You feel me? Exactly. We need more body of work. You're correct. You're correct with that, Rakers, or yeah. I hope I got it right. 714. He needs more body of work. But for his first outing against the number 1 defense in the league, and he throws up damn near 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, bruh, he did his thing. But we need more. You're right. So next week it's the Chiefs. It's another daunting task for him to go up against another good team. Now he's got to go up against Patrick Mahomes. If he holds his own against Patrick Mahomes, he deserves a shot at least. Not even at least. he'll get a shot. I think, and that's why, and I told people, I said, they traded for Stidham. You don't trade for a quarterback for no, you don't waste picks on something that is not like in your future, that you're not planning on using and implementing in your system. You don't just make trades like that. You know what I mean? And they did. They traded for Stidham. There was a reason. He knew the system and it showed. He showed that he was comfortable. He was not shook. You know what I mean? He was not shook at all, and he was taking shots. Come on now. Y'all seen the shots he took. Stood in the pocket and waited to get it off. You know what I mean? Rolling out, waited to the last minute waited for the receiver to get open and then hit him, but took a shot as well, but got right back up and ready to do it again. You know, hey, Stidham, hey, hats off to Stidham. He went out there and he showed me a lot. I you really couldn't get an idea of what he can offer because he never started in an NFL game ever. You know what I mean? And people say, oh, well, he didn't start in New England. What the fuck that mean? He was behind Brady. Bro, Brady ain't never had nobody behind him go off and do anything. Yeah. What about Garoppolo? He made it to the Super Bowl, didn't he? Wasn't that Brady's backup? But it's not about Brady. It's about knowing the system. You see the comfort in that shit, man, and it showed. The fucking offense moved with fluidity. It didn't stagger. I mean, at times, but that happens in a game. You're not going to score every drive. But God damn it, we had an opportunity to do so. We had an opportunity, it seemed like, every drive to go down and score. That's why in overtime, I was like, oh, still I'm about to get the ball and drive it down and get a touchdown and win. I just knew it. You know what I mean? But our offensive lineman did not help keep the defender out and got pushed into Stidham. And you seen Stidham hit him. Thank God he didn't break his hand the way he hit what's name's helmet on the side on that throw that popped up and ended the game. But hey, you gotta grade him on what he has done. He was productive. Come on, bro. He was productive. I'm surprised. That's why I said I just want to see today. Shout out to everybody. Pyro in the house, man. Cool Kev, my guys in the house. Dry like your side chick's coochie. She got to pick the scabs to lubricate herself. That's nasty, man. Hey, shout out to Cool Kev, though, my guy. Chris Areola. You know, I mean, it was just time for a change, man. You know what I mean? It's just time. Everything comes to an end, bruh. And I know a lot of car lovers is like, they didn't want it to, they didn't want it to end. But you had to. It's time to move on. It's time. Mediocrity is not accepted. That's not what we want. We don't want to be mediocre. We don't just want to be average. We want to be one of the contenders, one of the ones that teams fear. And I trust and believe if they get this defense together and get the right people and personnel in there to run at the same level that this offense can, this team is going to be tough. So I look forward to the all season. I look forward to see the moves that we make, what improves this team. Bruh, they got a game plan. That's one thing. For anybody to say fuck McDaniels, and like I say, this was a perfect opportunity with Mark Davis benching Carr. It was his idea to bench him. And I said it was going to show you one of two things. It was going to show you that it wasn't either it was or it wasn't Carr's fault, or it was or wasn't Josh McDaniels. The same play calling happened today by the same play caller, but with a different quarterback. And look what our production level was against a number one defense. You know what I mean? And it showed us our defense needs help. We need to get this defense right to go ahead and be contenders. But we're not that far. It ain't. We didn't lose by 14 or 17 today. We lost by 3 in overtime. To the best defense. The best gay defense ever assembled in Santa Clara history. You know what I mean? Hey, for real though, the best. Let me quit. I'll be on that motherfucking helmet. On NorCal Raider Jesse, man, my guy, man. Bruh, thank you so much, man. Hey, bro, you one of the good dudes, man. For real. I appreciate everything you guys do, man. I appreciate, I finally got monetized, and I thank you for the donation, man. I thank you guys for the support. I thank you guys for just being in my chat and just, You know what I mean? That's why I like entertaining y'all, because you guys, you keep it 100, y'all respectful, and you come here every day. And then we got new people that come too, so they're just as much. You know what I mean? Tristan Garf, what's his name? Garfias. I hope I said it right. Welcome, man. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you. Big Worm. I gotta finish the damn shout outs, huh? Raider 331. What's the deal? Let's see how the Raiders QB does when defensive coordinators have tape. Yeah. But the thing is, they'll get tape. But damn, he played all 4 preseason games and did the same shit. If you don't remember, he went 4-0 in the preseason. I know it's just preseason games, but that was against second string. But he did go against starters of other teams, because don't forget, teams in the preseason played their starters on defense against us. And we didn't play with Adams and Renfro and Waller and Jacobs. Played the first couple of games, or first game, huh? And then they benched them for the rest. But Stidham went out there and did his thing in the preseason. And I mean, it's just preseason, but we got to see exactly he did the same shit in a regular season game against the starting ones. You know what I mean? So, I mean, but we do need more body of work. We do need to see what he can do next week. But so far, you gotta give him a high grade. He didn't do anything to jeopardize this shit. He went toe to toe with the motherfucking team that won 8 straight games. You know what I mean? And can't you say the same thing about the Niners when they put Purdy in there? They didn't have there's not enough body of work on him either. Is that why he's successful? You know what I mean? No. He's just he's a solid QB. He's like Stidham. They're solid. They're solid. They make the right plays. You know what I mean? They don't panic. They're confident in what they can bring to the table and what they can do for their teams. So, I mean, with that in sight, you know what I mean? Hey, Happy New Year's to you, Raider Patches, for real. Thank you for popping up, man. It's a pleasure to have you here, man. Hey, thank y'all, man. This is just a little quick post-game rundown on what the Raiders did, man. But, hey, there's hope, y'all. We got hope. We got hope. You can't write off Stidham. You got to give him his chance. And he grabbed his opportunity and he made the best of it. We didn't get the win, but he fought. And he fought. You know what I mean? He made play after play. And I said this earlier, man. I just want to see what is our offense supposed to look like? And now you see. It was so fluid out there, using everybody, using the run, you know what I mean? Using your tight ends, you know, using your going to Devontae even if somebody was with him. He put the ball in the right position for him to make the play. You know what I mean? Hey, this young dude, Stidham dude, he got to get his props. Like I said, he's not he's not proven yet. But this is just a glimpse of we see his potential. And guess what? Him being as young as he is, he has not even hit the ceiling. He can't hit the ceiling if this is his first start. And it wasn't like a weak ass team we went up against and say, oh well, he beat the Jets or he beat, you know what I mean? He beat the Broncos. No, this motherfucker went up against, you know what I mean? Even though the NFC is weak as fuck, so the Niners is overrated. Their defense is trash. They keep saying, oh, this should say that Bosa is MVP, defensive MVP. What? He didn't get a sack today. The fuck Bosa do? You know what I mean? He didn't even get a sack. And we don't even have a dominant ass offensive line. They're okay, but he didn't get that back there to Stidham. So shit, maybe the NFC is different than the AFC. To me, the AFC is the most dominating conference there is in football. When you got teams in the NFC making the playoffs with a losing record, bruh, that tells you right there. Trash. So, 3-time, what's the deal, man? Yep, I believe that shit, man. Stidham, hey, he proved some doubters wrong. He sure in the fuck did. He sure in the fuck did. Eagle Tyrion, what's up with it? Tops, man. Do you think that Dave Ziegler will have a chance to draft? Why would you want to? Why would you want to? And I don't think CJ Stroud makes it down to where we're at. We're going to be around 8 or 9. You know what I mean? We're going to be around somewhere. We'll be top 10, but not high up top 10. I don't think Stroud lasts us to about the 9 or 10 pick. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. And plus, I'm like, now you don't even need a stopgap. You don't need Brady now. I said it. You don't need Brady. You don't need Garoppolo. You don't need to give up no draft picks to get Garoppolo. You don't need to give up no draft picks to get Aaron Rodgers. You don't need to give up no draft picks to get Mac Jones. You don't even need to get an old ass Tom Brady. See, my question before Stidham got his start and showed us what he can do, I was like, fuck, what do we do? And I thought out of all the choices we can make, I would say Brady, just for the fact that Brady would be a free agent. You would not have to give up draft picks that you can use on the defensive side of the ball. And it's a win-win. It's a win-win. You know what I mean? You get a stopgap quarterback. You go draft a quarterback, put him behind Brady for a year or two. And you know what I mean? That was the most logical route to go. Now, some people think with their heart. They don't like Brady. He was a Patriot. I don't give a fuck. Nigga, it ain't like a motherfucker chose where to get drafted. You know what I mean? Motherfucker get mad at him at the tuck rule. It was the punk ass referees that made that call. He said it was a fumble. He thought it was a fumble. The rest pulled out that tuck rule bullshit. So we always focus in our anger towards the wrong fucking target. You know what I mean? You just hate Brady because Brady is a Patriot and he won all them Super Bowls. How do you hate a motherfucker for winning? You know what I mean? But hey, fuck him. You know what I say? I don't hate him, but fuck him. You know, that's just how it is. But now we don't have to do that. We don't have to spend as much. We don't. How much money? And plus, if you would have went after Brady, how much would you think he would have wanted? Come on now. How much money you think Brady would have wanted to come here for 2 years? How much per year? He ain't gonna take no fucking discount. You know what I mean? Shit. What's the league minimum for a motherfucker that been playing for 20 years? You know what I mean? Shit. We don't have to do that now, it looks like. We stick with Stidham. Let Garbers be the backup. You know what I mean? So we just sit and watch and wait and see what happens. Let me see something real quick. Man, I gotta. Let me see what Egalitarian said. Egalitarian said, Lunatic, who do you think Dave Ziegler will draft in the first round? It's got to be defense. I think the top players in this draft, outside of quarterback, defense. And I'm talking about the front, in the trenches and linebackers. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of good defensive players in this draft, though. See, we don't have to go for quarterback. I wouldn't go for quarterback. See, that's why I don't always believe in drafting the best available player. Because if the best available player is a quarterback and you're already set at that spot, why would you draft him? Why would you waste that pick on somebody that's not going to play? That's not going to help your team. He's going to be on the bench. He's going to learn. You know what I mean? It's not going to start. Ain't no rookie going to start. Fuck no. So why would you waste a pick on somebody that ain't playing? You go draft somebody that comes in, defensive tackle, linebacker, corner, safety, that can come in and fucking start. You know what I mean? That's what we need. So I believe that we go defense. I really do. The best available defender at that position, wherever we draft that, is going to be a Raider. I truly believe so. Retrix, who's the fucking Retrix? Let me see something real quick. Yeah, man. I wish we would have had help on the defensive side, bruh. I really do. I really, man. Now we really see that. If just imagine if we had a middle of the pack defense. Do you know what kind of team this would be with the offense operating like we seen today? This is what we want. This is what we envision this offense to work like. Like only we can stop us. And that's how this offense looked. It looked so fluid and natural. You know what I mean? Like shit wasn't being forced. And now I understand. Now I see what the vision of the offense was. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's a good thing, bruh. Damn good thing, man, man. So let's see next week. Next Raider, hey, same Raider time, same Raider channel right here. We gonna see next week against Kansas City, Kansas Shitty, the Shitty Queefs. You know what I mean? What was this a mirage? Was this a one-time thing? If Stidham goes out there and goes another 300 yards, 2 touchdowns on the game, what would you guys say then against Kansas City? That's not going to rest anybody. And to be honest with you, we did not deserve to make the playoffs this year. We lost games that we should have not lost. Especially, just imagine if we wouldn't have lost to the Rams. If we wouldn't have lost to fucking Pittsburgh, this game wouldn't have meant shit. Because it was an NFC team we went up against that has no effect on our conference record. So we could afford shit. If we wouldn't have lost against motherfucking Pittsburgh, we still be in the mix with today's loss. Losing to the Rams and the Niners, 2 NFC teams, wouldn't hold weight on us. It's the AFC games that we have to win because that's the tiebreakers against these other teams that tie with us. If it's not head to head, it's gonna be conference record, then division record, and and the list goes on. Like opponents. So it is what it is. I'm like I said, I ain't tripping off the playoffs this year. I want to be in the Super Bowl in Vegas next year. I want our team to play at home in the Super Bowl next year. And damn it, now it looks like we might have a fucking realistic ass chance of doing that if we do what we're supposed to do with the defensive side of the ball. We must get the right fucking players, and we'll do it. We'll do it. Shout out to Michael Guerrero, man. For real, salute to you. So that's all I pretty much got right now, you guys, man. Hey, bull milk in the house. Bull milk and Cheerios. Hey, shout out to all y'all, man. Hey, enjoy your guys' Sunday. Hey, it ain't nothing to hold your head down at because we see promise now. We see what this offense potential looks like. Shout out to everybody that's watching. If you're here for the first time, please subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment or two. You know what I mean? So with that being said, man, hey, thank you guys for pulling up, man, on this post-game report show. We seen signs of life. You know what I mean? We didn't just tuck our tail and curl out. We fought. We fought tooth and nail. You know what I mean? Now it's on to Kansas Shitty Queefs. Shit, we do it all again next Sunday, y'all. But before that, you already know. Tomorrow, Good Morning Raider Nation. We'll talk more about this game. We'll go. I'm gonna look over the game again. Look at some things and see what really comes to mind, and then different positions on the defense that really need to be taken on. We know pretty much, but there's other positions as well on this team that we need to take a good look at to improve to make this team a contender for the Super Bowl. So with that being said, man, I thank you guys for pulling up and hanging out with your boy, man. It's a pleasure. Hey, Van City Raider, man, thank you for everything. 3-time, thank you for pulling up. Pyro, thank you. Cool Kev, my guy, man. Tops to you. Hey, Cool Kev and Michael Guerrero, I'll see y'all next weekend, bruh. I'll see y'all next weekend, man. We can send the season out with a bang, man. Hopefully we get a leave in with a win and celebrate that shit, man, because we deserve it. We deserve it. Hey, thank you, NorCal. I appreciate that. Van City, shout out to you as well. Shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all, man, for real. So with that being said, man, I'm Lunatic Raider. This is Raiders Allegiance. This has been the post-game show report, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Post-game period. Hey, the Raiders once again lose to the 69ers 37-34. The number one defense gave up 34 points to a first-time starting quarterback. Ooh. Who almost had 400 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Ooh. Shout out to Devontae Adams, the all-time leader receiving yards in a single season for the Raiders. Salute to you, man. You did that shit. Josh Jacobs got his yardage in there, but keep moving. The number one rushing running back in the league. Shout out. It's all on one team, baby. Let's bring him back. Let's bring Perriman back, and let's fix this defense, man. And then, hey, I'll holler at y'all on the back end of that shit. With that being said, man, I'm Lunatic Raider. Raiders Allegiance. You've been watching the post-game report, man. I'm out this. B.I.N.
They're here.
ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? I always ask that of all my prey. I just like the sound of it.